Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy coming at you with a new review. Happy Friday to you. As you know, this is the channel that welcomes you to your weekend. So hope you have a wonderful Friday, wonderful weekend. And if you're watching this and it's not on a Friday, always remember, it is always Friday here at That Cologne Guy. All right, so before we take a look at the review this week, I wanted to welcome all the new subscribers aboard. Welcome to the Cologne crew. We've had yet another week of an absolute blitzkrieg blast of new subscribers. So welcome aboard, guys. Really appreciate all of your comments and feedback and ways that can improve the channel. Take a look at my playlist. I've got Amouage Men's, Amouage Women's, and Amouage Library Collection. And finally, there are many ways in which this channel is different. But the two that might stand out to you are that, number one, I buy all of my own fragrances or my friends send them to me. I'm not sponsored by anybody. And so I keep my reviews, as I like to say, fiercely independent. And so they're genuine, they're off the cuff, and I like it that way. Number two, this is also different because at the end of each episode, I actually rate the fragrance in terms of 5 sprays, and then I actually put that number of sprays on me. Okay, so let's dive in. This week, we are taking a look at none other than Givenchy Play Intense, and if it looks like I'm cracking a smile, it's because I am. This is a sentimental favorite. This week, I mentioned last week that I was going to step away from the First Impressions series that I do every summer, so I did a First Impressions playlist actually for 2018, so you can check that out, 2019. And then this summer I was doing my First Impressions series. I'm going to step away from that for a while. And that's one of the reasons is because this week is my daughter's birthday. So this episode is dedicated to her. So Natalia, this is dedicated to you. This is because this fragrance actually, Givenchy Play Intense, came out in the same month and year, July 2008, that she came along. And so this was the first fragrance I went out and bought after I became a dad, and I celebrated, of course, the happiest day of my life. And then this week we are celebrating her birthday. Now you might say, well, is the sentimental factor going to kick in? It is not, because I have nothing but good news in this review. So, but I wanted you to know that's the sentimental backstory behind it. I can absolutely explain the notes, and I'm going to in a minute. But I want you guys know that I'm on an eternal quest to really walk you through a fragrance, just beyond mentioning the notes themselves. What I want you to do for this fragrance is, I want you to think about going to a coffee shop, a cafe. And I want you to think about a few things. Number one is you're going to get your favorite aromatic coffee. So it could be a caramel macchiato. It's got to be hot though, because I really want the aromatic factor to kick in. And so I want you to think of a special drink that you like that really gives off a very strong coffee smell that you like. It may or may not have caramel in it, but it has a sweet element to it, probably. Then I want you to think of that coffee shop just so happens to also have one of your favorite desserts. So again, something probably with like a caramel element to it, but just think of a particular dessert that you like and you reserve as a special treat to yourself. You're going to this coffee shop because for many reasons. Number one is you're going to socialize with some people you know, some friends. You're going to have a chit chat with a friend of yours and really appreciate that time with him or her. And then you're going to also have some time of production. You're going to work, you're going to advance through a project, you're going to be hyper-focused, you're going to feel good about what you have achieved in terms of a career or a project you're working on. Then I want you to think of also some time, alone time, where you're going to be, maybe you have your earbuds or headphones on and you're really reading and about something that just you like. So, music, movies we've been talking about lately, whatever, but it's something that you personally like and you're all alone and you're just in the zone reading about this. Then I also want you to think about something that you're learning more about. So it could be, cooking, whatever, but you're again, and whether or not you're a student, but it's the notion of learning something new while you're there. So think about all the things going on. You have some alone time. You also have some socializing with a friend. You also are advancing on a project in terms of your career. You're also learning something more of like a hobby. And then you're also just reading things that are completely of interest to you and you alone. And so and then on top of it, you have this wonderfully aromatic coffee drink, probably something like a caramel macchiato, but whatever you like. That's what I like. And then the second one would be, again, the second thing that you're eating or drinking would be this dessert. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, that's why it's hard for me. But I'm thinking something along the lines of like a tiramisu or maybe a flan. But anyway, so all of these things combine together and into this coffee shop experience. And so you leave after 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever, right? You leave after a while and you go meet up with some friends. So it could be it could be happy hour, it could be just going out to the pub, whatever. And they don't even have to ask you. Here's the key element to this fragrance. They don't even have to ask you where you've been, because they can smell on your clothes this wonderful aroma and mixture and blend of sweet mixed with this incredible coffee note. And then we're gonna add this kind of sprinkling of a classic masculine vetiver. So it's just a wonderful, superb smell, and no one even really has to ask you where you've been, because they know, and they're going to say two things. Number one is they're going to say two things. Number one, they're going to say you have clearly been in a coffee shop, and number two, they're going to say, what are you wearing? And they're going to compliment you. And that is Givenchy Play Intense. This is a July 2008 release. It's an EDT, and I really do have nothing but compliments for this fragrance. Really, this is a niche fragrance by a designer company. So a couple things to consider, actually. When you think of Givenchy Play, a lot of people roll their eyes, okay? And that is because, for two reasons. Number one is because Justin Timberlake was the model for Givenchy Play, which, I mean, yeah, that's kind of cheesy, folks. Sorry. And then the second thing is Givenchy Play was designed as the bottle is an MP3 player. So again, it's kind of a 2000s look to it, and a lot of people are put off by the bottle itself. Now, so here's how I came along with Givenchy Play. I bought a bottle, another fragrance, and the company threw in. How sometimes they'll throw in like 2 or 3 fragrances, little samples. They threw in Givenchy Play, the white bottle, white MP3 player, Justin Timberlake. They threw that in, and it has this kind of vinyl, plasticky note that I actually liked. I never would have chosen this. I don't know what note it is specifically, but it surprised me, because I didn't think I would like it, and I actually liked it. In fact, I liked it enough that when I saw that Givenchy Play Intense had a coffee note, I was intrigued and I bought it. Again, though, of course, it was for sentimental reasons, because it was July 2008 when I became a dad. And so Givenchy Play, Justin Timberlake, MP3, white bottle. But Givenchy Play Intense so that's a daytime youthful, okay? This one is kind of to offset that, so it's a little bit more mature, and it's definitely a night scent. And it is... It really invokes, and it's not Justin Timberlake, okay? It's an MP3 player bottle that's black. Now, you might say, that doesn't look like an MP3 player. You are correct. And so, unfortunately, this gem has been discontinued. And so what I did was I went out and bought the 150 milliliter 5-ounce bottle. So when you look at other reviews from online, you're probably not going to see this one. You're probably going to see the one that's black, and it's an MP3, and it's got a rubber top to it. I didn't mind it. It's just, it's just a little corny. But this is not the bottle you're going to see most likely. And what I love about this Givenchy. In fact, I actually looked it up because I was kind of worried that it wasn't specifically by them, but it is. So some of you remember from the 80s TV shows when they would, they'd be going on this adventure, this action scene, and they would say like, "Larry, we need to go to the post office." And then they would actually go, and then because they didn't want to mark the city, it would just say like post office, right? That I love this about Givenchy. Look, they have a 5-ounce, 150 milliliter oversized bottle, so they called it, you guessed it,
oversize. So you see, oversize.
So they take their terms very seriously with Givenchy. So that's not the typical bottle. In fact, I'm happy it's not, because I don't have to deal with the MP3 player. But when I found out it was discontinued, I gave the rest to a buddy, and then I raced out and bought this one. And I would highly suggest you do the same. And I only reserve this for special occasions like my daughter's birthday this week. So when it comes to the notes, you're going to get 3 big ones and then a sprinkling of some other ones. So the big 3 are, of course, coffee. Coffee is just spectacular in this fragrance, but it really is the blending of a few others as well. So it's coffee. It's a very clean vetiver, though. And then it's another one called amyris wood. And I looked up this, so it's amyris, amyris. And you can say amyris, but most people say amyris, amyris, and that's wood. And what's interesting about that is it's a wood found in Haiti that's used as it's a long burning wood that has a strong aroma. So what it's actually called locally in Haiti is candle wood. Because again, there's the notion of burning and long lasting and aromatic. But then its nickname is the West Andes sandalwood. So that's interesting because it's a sandalwood is of course a note that's very pleasant and used in a lot of fragrances. And you need to understand those 3 though combined into this, because to get the full feel of this, you've got a very clean vetiver, wonderful coffee, and then a very seductive, sexy amyris wood note. The blending of the 3 is just fantastic. And then you get into things like labdanum, pink pepper, and tonka. And so again, you've got the big 3, but then you've got in the mid notes, you've got tonka and pink pepper and labdanum, and oh man, it's just intoxicating. All right, so those are the notes, and I wanted to go over next the longevity and projection. More good news abounds. So when it comes to projection, you are going to get, this actually projects very well. You're going to get an arm's length away for a good solid 4 to 6 hours, and if you spray on your clothes longer. This really projects very well. This would be perfect for the clubs. In fact, you'd want to go easy on the trigger if you did wear this to the office. Excellent for an EDT. Projection is also great because you get the holy grail of projection for me, which is of course 6 to 8, but really closer to 8. And if you sprayed on your clothes, then you could even get 8 to 10 if you sprayed a lot. So for those of us who like to get a lot of bang for our buck, and we don't like to reapply, you would never have to worry about this with this fragrance, because again, it's a solid. It's really good at a 6 to 8 hour for longevity, and I love that about this fragrance. So you can tell where I'm going to go then as far as the occasion. This is going to be this is a nighttime fragrance, and if you wore it, and I say that just because it's very, very sexy and seductive, and it's going to garner compliments. And so I would say stay away from the office, but if you did, just go easy on the trigger. You'd probably want to go 2 sprays, and definitely not on the clothes, right? Maybe like 1 on each side of the neck and just leave it there, or 1 on each wrist. So for age group, I'm not going to do it. Because age group, there's nothing. I mean, it's a classic masculine scent. So, I mean, when it comes to age group, you're going to see all over the boards. You're going to see high school, college, 25 and up. I mean, anyone one could wear this. Now, I'm going to say this is a classic masculine fragrance for me. So, as far as the continuum I like to do with the feminine and then unisex and masculine, I would put this between unisex and masculine. And what I would say is, when I say that though, I mean like at the very end of masculine. So like, that would be like, hairy chest, gold chains, BGs, like 70s, like Koros. I mean, I'm talking like, like ultra masculine, like busting out polo and stuff. And then you've got unisex. It's somewhere in between. It's a classic refined masculine scent, and I really, really love that about this one. For those of you who, if you don't like too rugged, and if you don't like too metrosexual, this one is the perfect blend of that, because it has just enough rugged and then just enough of the kind of urbane metrosexual feel to it that combines into, for me, a classic masculine scent. So I have a feeling this is a pour homme, right? It's for men. I have a feeling you're going to see about a 75-25 split on actually who buys it. So what I mean by that is, I think 75% of the people who buy it for themselves will be men, and I think you're going to see about 1/4 women, because two things actually. Number one is women love this scent. Women loves this scent on men, so much so that they like wearing it themselves. So the second thing is the one of the things that women will complain about a lot as far as the women's perfumes. And now that I've reviewed some, I fully understand what they mean. Is they'll complain that the women's perfumes always have this kind of floral element to it, so they're kind of relegated to like florals. And so it's if you're just getting into fragrance, you'll know that a lot of women will be wearing and talking about men's fragrances, and that's why, because they just enjoy things that smell good. Who cares if it's for men or for women, right? In terms of marketing, and so. A lot of women are going to be wearing this as well, and a lot of women are going to be buying this for their man. Really, like I said, if you like this kind of out of shower, if you like your cologne to be an extension of your body wash, so like if you want something that smells like soap and it smells like detergent and shampoo and conditioner, and it just has that very clean out of shower Irish Spring smell, this is not for you, because this is a gourmand. So this is a food like, oftentimes dessert, but it's a food like smell. So it's meant to evoke the aroma of food. And so that's not going to be for everyone. That said, though, man, does it do gourmands well. This is my favorite gourmand, and this is just a superb scent, especially for the price point. If you sprayed this, for most noses, if you sprayed this and didn't say anything, most people would say, I think, that this is a niche release. So compliments abounds today. So that is the gender, that's the age. Again, the occasion would be night, and then the season. The season is going to be a little more restricted, though, because it has coffee and it has vetiver and wood and labdanum. It really does. It could get cloying. It would get cloying actually in the hotter weather. So this is definitely a fall winter. So you might not see people saying, that it's their signature scent, and a lot of the subscribers I have are like, dude, I just tell me what smells good and gets compliments, and I go buy it. This is definitely not for like an everyday 365 days a year release, just because of that. So if you're, I personally, I detest cold weather. I hate it. And so one of the things, to tell you how much I love this stuff, I look forward to the winter just because I get to wear fragrances like Givenchy Play Intense. No joke. Actually, it's just that good. It's a cold weather, definitely winter, and then again more of the nighttime. Only because if you wear this to the office, and you'd have to be real careful with projection, and so. If you're in close quarters and you want, usually we go for like the crowd pleasers, right? Things that aren't going to smell too specific, and we wear those to the office. But this is definitely more of a date night out, definitely going out to the clubs, et cetera, nighttime. Let's take a look at versatility then. So in terms of versatility, it might be low from what I've just said, but use that to your advantage. Here's what I suggest you do with Givenchy Play Intense. And I just love saying Givenchy instead of Givenchy, right? It just sounds better. I would say get the oversized bottle now. Get it while it's relatively affordable. Get the 5 ounce, the 150 milliliter. Hold on to it. Use it for special occasions. See, here's the thing. Because it is a classic masculine, gourmand, discontinued fragrance, smells delicious, sexy, sensual, compliment getting, the list goes on, projects well, longevity, relatively inexpensive. What more do you want, folks? No MP3 player cheesy. Justin Timberlake's gone. I mean, come on. Okay? This is a 5 out of 5. Because you'll be smelling like this, you will smell unique, so you will not smell like everyone else around you. So that is one thing that is really great for the folks who say, you know, I don't like to smell like everyone else. It's extremely pleasant, yet it's not everywhere. It's not ubiquitous. And so, again, a lot of people won't have it now, especially that it's been discontinued. So you will smell unique, and people will compliment you, and they will definitely ask you what you're wearing. It's just a superb scent. I tip my cap to Givenchy, and on this release, and for getting rid of Justin Timberlake for it. Okay, so there you have it, folks. I mean, is there anything else to do other than to say 5 out of 5 sprays? No, there's not. This is a 5 out of 5 sprays, if there ever were one. In fact, every once in a while, and so I did it for Jubilation 25 by Amouage. I give a 6 out of 5, kind of like an extra. I'm going to go 5 out of 5. And then I'm going to go just one extra spray just because it's just so special. The sentimental factor kicked in. All right, so we're going to go one on each wrist, one on each side of the neck, and one on the back of the neck. Boom. 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 There you have it. There's 5 out of 5. And because of the sentimental factor, like I told you, every once in a while, I feel moved to give a 6 out of 5, like an extra. So here is the icing on the cake. Yeah, this is bad for a gourmand, but I had to do that. All right, here we go. Just for you guys, because I want you to see the sprayer as well. If you get the oversized bottle, which is actually called oversized, there you go. Boom. Man, I love you guys. That is fantastic juice. There you have it. Givenchy Play Intense. Enough of the compliments. I had so much fun doing this review. I had been counting down the days. I really hold this one off for special occasions. And thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I actually forgot to say that recently. And take care. Always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. So let me just say real quick, there are 2 other ones that smell like this, similar, okay? One is Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo, right? So that's Italian UOMO for man, right? And it's called Uomo, UOMO. Salvatore Ferragamo. And now that one is what I would call tiramisu in a bottle. I am not a sweets person. I hold my hand up to that. But when I think of tiramisu, wow, that is one sweet fragrance. Okay, is Uomo. Now, the other one is Roche's Man, which is Roche's Man is kind of a sweeter version of this one. And I see Roche's Man as more of like the 18 to 25 crowd. I think it has a more of a youthful, sweeter quality to it. And the reason why I'm smiling is because Roche's Man is great. Right? It smells great. It's cheap. It's awesome. I really like it, actually. I probably get a bottle eventually, especially after I run out of this in 34 years. But Roche's Man has a hideous bottle. Okay, so it is just, I would really like to sit down with the person who designed Roche's Man bottle and say, like, what in God's name were you thinking? It's awful. If I get Roche's Man, I would actually have it in the very back of the cabinet, right? Where no one could see it. And and so it is a sweeter version of this. It doesn't have so much of the coffee, so much of it, and again, it has kind of a lighter, I guess, a more youthful smell to it. It's cheaper, but it's not cheap, if you know what I mean. In terms of quality, it's very nice. Now, this guy, though, again, to me, takes the cake. All right, no pun intended. That I don't even know if that'll make it in. That's so bad. This one really does, though, because Uomo is kind of tiramisu. It's very, very sweet, a little too sweet for me. And then the Rochesman is very nice, kind of an intermediate right point between the two, but this one with the vetiver and the amyris wood just really hits a home run for me.